I never believed in haunted houses. I always thought they were exaggerations, stories made up by bored people or children trying to scare each other. Until I stepped into that house. The street was empty. The wind dragged dry leaves across the ground, and every now and then, a distant creak came from somewhere between the broken windows. The front door was ajar, hanging on its hinges as if someone had left in a hurry. The first feeling I had was that I shouldn't be there. But I had to see. The hallway was dark, and the smell of mold and rotting wood hit me like a punch. Each step echoed, but there was nothing, no one. Still, something told me I wasn't alone. Maybe it was just the wind, maybe not. I moved toward the living room. The broken windows let moonlight spill in thin streaks. An old rug covered the floor, worn by time, and over it, stains that could have been just dirt, or something much older. Then I heard a whisper, short, almost imperceptible, my name. Who's there? My voice sounded strangely distant. Silence. I started walking faster, trying to convince myself it was my imagination. But every room I crossed seemed larger, darker, filled with shadows that only moved in the corner of my eye. The feeling of being watched grew with each step, as if the house were breathing with me, anticipating my every move. Upstairs, the corridor seemed endless. Every door I passed creaked, even though I hadn't touched them. And then I felt it. A coldness, sharp and concentrated, behind me. But when I turned, there was nothing. Only the empty hallway and the sense that something was studying me, silently laughing at my presence. In the farthest room, I found an old mirror covered in dust. Approaching it, I saw my reflection trembling. For a moment, I thought someone was behind me in the mirror. I blinked. Nothing. But the whisper returned, clearer. My name dragged across the air like a threat. Who's there? I repeated, my voice firmer now, though trembling. The silence answered. A silence that weighed, that seemed to squeeze my chest and make it hard to breathe. And then I heard something I will never forget. Slow footsteps coming from above. Footsteps that were not mine. I ran down, stumbling on the stairs, and reached the front door. The street was empty, just as before. But before I could leave, I felt an icy hand on my shoulder. I spun around. No one. My heart raced. I knew I had to run, but my feet wouldn't move. Something pushed me back inside. The door slammed shut on its own, banging hard behind me. The hallway now looked different, longer, darker. Shadows twisted and writhed, and I could hear, always behind me, footsteps that were not mine. In the attic, I found a door that hadn't been there before. Trembling, I opened it. Inside, there was a chair turned toward the wall. Sitting in it was a female figure. Long hair covered her face, but the smell, a mix of decay and something familiar, made me freeze. You shouldn't be here, she said, voice low and distant, almost a whisper. I stepped closer, and she turned her face. My blood ran cold. It wasn't someone I knew. It was me, my own face, pale, eyes unblinking, staring at me from across the room. But this is impossible, I managed to stammer. I've always been here, she replied in my voice, waiting for you to realize. The moonlight streamed through the cracks, illuminating the floor littered with broken furniture. But she didn't move, just watched me. And then I understood. Every shadow I had seen, every step behind me, every whisper, was not another person. It was me. Fragments of me, scattered throughout the house, as if each room had kept a piece of my mind, my consciousness, my sanity. I tried to flee. I ran for the stairs, tripped, fell. When I got up, the front door was open again. A cold air beckoned, and I ran. But looking back, I saw something I will never forget. Several versions of myself watching me from the broken windows, the ajar doors, the shadows, all smiling, all waiting. I stepped onto the street. The house remained silent, still, as if nothing had happened. But I knew she was still inside, and so was I. Somehow, the house had swallowed me, spread my mind across the dark corners, and left only my body walking through the real world. I can still hear my own whisper echoing through the empty rooms, and I know that if I ever return, I won't just be entering. I will be all of us, and the house will smile. And I know she's still there, waiting for someone who believes in haunted houses.